Well, hello. My name is Rafael Osuba, Artistic Director for Artist Studio Project ASP Books, and welcome back. We have a great show for you today. I'm excited about introducing you to my good friend Carolina Fonseca Jimenez, who has written a wonderful children's story about a tradition that happens in Mexico and is becoming very popular here in the United States. So let's go to the interview. Hola, ¿cómo estás, Carolina?
Hola, muy bien. ¿Y tú cómo estás por allá?
Muy bien. Thank you for being with us.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm so excited about this interview, because I myself have written a children's book, and my wife is an educator, and we have three children of our own. And just like you, I wrote my book to try to keep our traditions alive, And so I was super excited when our good friend Ernesto had introduced us, or actually he had encouraged you to participate in the book fair. Unfortunately, we were not able to do the book fair, but we, we're very creative people, so we found another way to get you on and introduce you to everybody. So it's my pleasure to have you with us. First of all, I would like for you to kind of introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are.
Yeah, so thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Carolina Fonseca Jimenez. So basically, I am a children's book writer. I didn't really know I was going to be writing children's books, but I noticed that something really important to me was keeping the Mexican culture within my family. So, that's one of the reasons why I decided to write Lupita and the Magic of Mexico. And I guess that, this kind of all transpired throughout my life. Like you said, one of the most important things for me was just making sure that I could share some of the culture here in the United States. And I have a lot of nieces and nephews. I don't have children yet, but I've got like 8 nieces and nephews all together. And I just wanted to make sure that they could have a little book that they could relate to and that they could kind of see themselves in. So that's one of the things that's basically about me. It's just so important to me to be able to share the Mexican culture. And then within that, all of the books or anything that I do, I always want to make sure to spread love, unity, and peace in all that I'm a part of. And a lot of that just has to do with my upbringing, right? It's because when we came to this country, my parents came to give us a better life, to give us better education. So it's always been really important to me to make sure to take care of myself, to make sure to get my education in order, but also to promote that for the other kids.
Wonderful. And I know that you're currently living in Clayton, North Carolina, but you're originally from Guanajuato, Mexico.
Yes, that's correct. I'm from León, Guanajuato, Mexico.
And at what age did you come to the United States?
I was 2 years old, so I didn't really know I was coming here, but it has been such a blessing. I was a baby when I was brought here.
Wonderful. So talk to me a little bit about what inspired you to take on this personality of Lupita. Who is Lupita? And tell us a little bit more about how Lupita came to be.
So that that's a really long story, but I'll try to kind of keep it short for you all. Coming here to the United States and as such a young child, one of the things that I really missed was my grandmother. I missed my grandmother. I missed all of my family back then. And even though I was so young, I was old enough to know and to feel that a part of my family was left behind in Mexico. So this book really is just a composition of all of those feelings and the need to reconnect with my roots and reconnect with my grandmother. And the funny thing is about this book is that it came to me during a time where I was, having a very difficult time in my life. I was just going through a lot, and I sat down one day and this idea, Lupita and the Magic of Mexico, that phrase just kind of popped into my mind. And I remember thinking, wow, that is a really nice name. It is beautiful. And I remember just writing it down, but I didn't know it was actually going to be a book. So it wasn't until another time that I actually sat down with that same phrase in front of me that the entire book just kind of came before me. I just started writing and writing, and a couple of hours later, that's where the book was born. So in that, I just always try to remember that my parents made a huge sacrifice by coming to the United States. And really, it's just kind of a tribute to that, a tribute to my family, a tribute to my grandmother. And when you see the book, you'll understand it more, and you'll understand the characters and how they really relate to my life. So it's not that Lupita is me, but Lupita is kind of like a part of me, right? It's kind of like that inner child that continues to live on. It's that that passionate being. I think that all of us have that. All of us have that inner child, that loving kind of energy. So by me writing this book, it's really just an extension of myself. And I think that it's just so important to share. So Lupita is not me, but she is like a little extension of me, my child version, if you will.
Wonderful. And talk to me about when you decided to write the book. How did you go about getting it illustrated? Because one of the wonderful things about your book is that it's so beautifully illustrated. Talk to me about that, and who illustrated the book.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. So our illustrator, his name is Richard Bantique. He's a Marine Corps veteran. He's absolutely amazing, very talented individual. And, you know, the way that I went about it was I knew that this book was going to be really close to my heart. I knew that it was a tribute to my family. So I needed to make sure that the person writing it had similar values as me, came from a immigrant family like me. I wanted to make sure that they matched my same story. And anyone that takes part in my Lupita books will have a similar story like that to share with you all. And really with him, I met him through my brother. My brother, as many of you know, is a Marine Corps veteran as well. And they worked together in Afghanistan. And when Richard came back to the United States, one of the things that he really learned was his passion for being an artist. You know, he did artwork even throughout the Marine Corps. And when he came back to the United States, he wanted to make sure that he was fulfilling his life goal and his duty, and that to him is art, you know. So when I remembered his work, I reached out to him right away, and I'm like, look, I have this idea of this book. Will you do the illustration? And you know what? He has been just a wonderful person, and it's been just so great working with him because he's actually from the Philippines, so he's from a whole different country, but he has such a similar story to mine, and that's why we really connected and we really bonded. And when you look at the artwork, you'll see all of the wonderful work that he did in that, because there was a lot of research that we did too. You know, a lot of this for me was doing some research on my own family, researching where I came from, because this book was actually written before I even went to Mexico. So the cool thing about that is that a lot of the things that I wrote about in this book actually came true later. It's kind of a little interesting fact there, but it has been wonderful working with Richard. And really, it was just because I had that connection with him that I decided to work with him, and it's been a pleasure ever since.
Well, you know, the wonderful thing about your book is it touches on a tradition that is so popular, and even more so now. I mean, you know, I personally with the festival, we do a Dia de los Muertos event for the last several years. We do it at the Core Museum, and it's always such a great big hit. And the thing about the theme of Dia de los Muertos is that it's a celebration, right? And it shows with the tremendous amount of color that is during that time, right? With this celebration, it's very colorful, unlike the way that we celebrate or honor those that have passed on here in the United States. It's completely different. It's one is a big celebration with a lot of music and food and a lot of color. And here in the United States, we tend to celebrate it a little bit more, you know, subdued, a little bit more quiet, time to reflect. And so that's always been great for me to try to share that culture. Also, one of the things that that has really helped to kind of bring this tradition to life is the movie Coco, and so, you know, one of the things that I truly enjoyed about reading your book was the tremendous amount of color and just the lovely stories that the way that you weave and tell your story. Can you tell us a little bit about the story of Lupita, and how did you come up with the name Lupita? I mean, is there a family member or you know, how did that get inspired?
Yeah, so the name Lupita really it came to me, you know, during a time that I was having a very hard time in my life. The whole phrase Lupita and the Magic of Mexico came to me, but there is a deep connection there with me because my full name is Guadalupe Carolina Fonseca Jimenez. Now, when we immigrated here to the United States, and they filled out my paperwork at school. And to make it easier for people, my parents would always call me Carolina. So I've always gone by Carolina, but really my first name is Guadalupe. So that too is it's a tribute to that, right? Because even though everyone knows me as Carolina Fonseca Jimenez, that is part of my name, but Guadalupe is my first name, and Lupita is an endearing term that we use to to call people that name is Guadalupe. We call them Lupita. So really, there's still a connection within that, and that's really, I think, where the name came. But I can't fully tell you where precisely it came from, because it was just a message that I needed to receive. This book really has been very healing for me. When I was going through that difficult time in my life, when I really didn't know what I was going to do, the whole phrase of Lupita and the Magic of Mexico brought me so much peace and almost hope. It brought me so much hope, just knowing that everything was going to work out for me. I didn't know how it would, but I just knew that that phrase was going to help me, and it has. It has. By writing this book, I've connected with so many wonderful people, and I've been reading this book at a lot of the little public schools here in North Carolina, and it has really just helped me connect with them and spread the message of Lupita, of love, unity, and peace.
Well, why don't we read a little bit?
Okay, we can read a little bit of it.
And maybe you set us up by telling us a little bit about the story first.
Yeah, so the story is about a little girl named Lupita, and she's in Mexico with her mother. They're finally able to explore the magic of Mexico. So her goal during this entire time is finding the magic of it. Now, when she's exploring Mexico, she does see a lot of magical things, and she gets herself into a little bit of trouble and has to kind of figure out her way out of it. So one of the cool things about the book is that she really kind of takes it upon herself to get out of this problem that she sees. And then finally, we get to find out if she is or if she isn't reunited with her family. And at the end, we find out the most magical thing that she found when she was in Mexico.
Wonderful. So let's go ahead and hear a little bit.
Okay. Rise and shine, Lupita. It's our first day on vacation, and it's your first time exploring all the wonderful things Mexico has to offer. Coming, Ma, Lupita says, still yawning. Wow, you got us all these conchas for breakfast? Well, of course, Lupita, we are on vacation, so we deserve sweet bread. Ma, where will we be going today? Oh, Lupita, we're going to see the magic of Mexico. Magic? There's no such thing, Ma. You'll change your mind soon enough. Stay close, Lupita. I don't want you to get lost. Ma, is that a castle? No, Lupita, it's not a castillo. That's the Basilica de Guadalupe. It's a church, Lupita. It is believed that the Virgin of Guadalupe appeared in this very place to Saint Juan Diego. Wow, Ma, she must have been lovely. Come on, Lupita, let's keep exploring. Oh my goodness, candies, balloons, and toys? Yes, Lupita, the merchant saw all sorts of wonderful dulces, globos, y juguetes. The balloons, Ma, may I have one, please? They are so colorful and amazing. I like the one with all the colors of the rainbow. You can pick one, Lupita. I want the biggest and most colorful globo you have, please. Ma, thank you for my balloon. Wait, what's that up ahead? Is that a parade? I hear guitars, trumpets, and singing. Yes, Lupita, the parade is for El Día de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. But Ma, everyone has a skull mask or looks like a skeleton. Is this like Halloween? No, Lupita, it's different. In Mexico, it's a day to celebrate the lives of the loved ones who passed away. Do you mean like abuelito? Yes, Lupita, but don't be sad. Let's celebrate how amazing your grandfather was and how much he loved to spend time with you. Wow, Ma, look at the colorful costumes and decorations. I love the sombreros, the mariachis, and the swirling skirts on the girls. Do you hear that magical music, Lupita? Sí, Ma, I hear la música. Ma, this is truly magical, and the music and the people are lovely. Baila, Lupita. This is how we celebrate in Mexico. I love to dance, Ma. Look at my cool moves, Ma. Ma, where are you? Oh no, where is she? Am I lost? Oh my gosh, I'd better get help.
That's lovely. So that's when we see that Lupita gets a little lost, right? And that happens to a lot of children, right? When they go into big places like the mall, or they go to a parade, or they go somewhere where there's a multitude of people. So it's a good lesson also to children to let them know that they need to stay close to their family members, no?
Absolutely. Yeah, and there's a lot to be learned here because the child can take it as them getting physically lost, which Lupita did get lost, but a lot of the time you can also look at it as being lost in life, right? Sometimes we end up getting on a different path than we originally wanted to be on, and we end up feeling lost for a while, but then we end up finding ourselves at the end. And that's one of the cool things I really like about Lupita and the Magic of Mexico, because you can look at it for what it is, but there's so much symbolism within it too. And that to me is what really kind of makes it even more fun.
So it's two separate books, right? There's an English version and a Spanish version, correct?
Yes, so we've got two versions and each of them have highlights, so you can learn a little bit of the other language. So you notice like in the English one, we just read their highlights in Spanish, and then the Spanish one will have highlights in English, so that way kids can be introduced to the other language.
Wonderful. Can you share with us a little bit of the Spanish book?
Of course, yeah. I'll share a little bit of a different passage. I'll move a little forward if that's okay. Disculpe, señor esqueleto, ayúdeme. ¿Sabe dónde está mi mamá? Se llama Marta. Marta, señorita, yo conozco muchas mujeres que se llaman Marta. Conozco a Marta de la calle 3, Marta de la Casa Azul, y conozco unas 7 mujeres que se llaman Marta en otra ciudad. No, mi mamá no vive aquí. Estamos de vacaciones de la escuela visitando a mi abuelita. Supongo que no puede ayudarme. Tengo que encontrarla yo misma. Espere, señorita. Ok, si yo fuera mamá, ¿dónde estaría? Lo sé, comería postres y compraría recuerdos. Ahora, todo lo que tengo que hacer es encontrar a alguien que venda desserts y keepsakes. Hola, señor esqueleto, ¿ha visto a mi mamá? Su nombre es Marta y le encanta comer postres y comprar recuerdos. Niñita, lo siento, pero la calle está llena de clientes y no tengo tiempo para ayudarte. Pero tiene que ayudarme, estoy perdida y esa es la primera vez que exploro México. Lo siento, niñita, estoy demasiado ocupada ahora mismo. Solo quédate aquí y volveré cuando mis customers se hayan ido. No, no puedo esperar, gracias, pero mi madre debe de estar muy preocupada, así que yo misma la encontraré. Adiós. Niñita, espera. Ok, necesito otro plan. Ya sé, tengo el globo más grande y más colorido del desfile. No estoy muy alta, pero puedo escalar un lugar alto y mamá tendrá que verme con mi globo. Esa calavera del desfile está perfecta. ¡Vámonos! Oh, wow, esto es más difícil de lo que parecía desde el suelo. Bueno, estoy a mitad del camino. Yo puedo hacerlo. I can do this. Dios mío, la veo. Estoy casi en lo más alto.
Wow, that's amazing. Qué lindo, ¿no? Y lo lindo de este libro es que además de que están los dos lenguajes, permiten que los padres también cuenten un poquito de su historia, ¿no?
Exacto, sí, exacto. Y la razón que hice este libro también es porque es como una unidad familiar, ¿no? Así da la oportunidad que, como usted dice, las personas que no hablan el inglés, no hay problema, que lean el de español, ¿no? Y que vayan aprendiendo algunas palabras en inglés. Y de lo mismo de la otra forma, porque aquí el punto es que nos unamos de nuevo con la familia, ¿no? Y podamos compartir las historias de nuestra cultura y de nuestra familia. Entonces, por eso para mí es tan importante este librito de Lupita.
Bueno, y entonces ahora mencionabas de las aventuras de Lupita. Entonces, eso me dice o me da a entender que van a haber más.
Sí, exacto. De hecho, ahorita estamos trabajando en el libro número 2, es Lupita y la magia de los sueños. Entonces, pues espero que ya esté listo en unos 2 meses.
So you have a new book coming out?
I do, yes. I'm really excited about it. We actually are working on the second book. It's called Lupita and Her Magical Dreams, and it'll be out in about 2 months or so. We're crossing our fingers to get it out sooner.
Wonderful. And I'm putting some of the information down below, but the current books are available right now on Amazon. Is there any place else that folks can find your books?
Yeah, so they can go to my website, which is www.lupitainspires.com, or they can just check it out on Amazon. That's the easiest place to really get it. And then the last place is if they see me at one of the public school events, they're welcome to purchase it there too.
So if there's an educator or someone in the community that would like to invite you to come out to read. Is that something that you do, and how would they go about doing that?
Yes, it's something that I do, and it's one of my favorite things to do because it gives me a chance to interact with the children and to just kind of give them my perspective about life in general. It's really wonderful, and it's really great for both of us. But yeah, they can reach out to me on my website, and you'll notice on my website, it'll have all of my information with my email contact and everything. And then there's also a form at the end that they can fill out if they already have the date in mind of when they'd like to invite me.
Wonderful. So is there anything else that you'd like to share with us today?
One of the things that I'd like to share is just a little bit about the next book. So like I mentioned, it's called Lupita and Her Magical Dreams. And the reason that I'm talking about Lupita's dreams in the next book is because I think it's so important that we all listen to the dreams that we get. So a lot of the time what happens is that, we're living our life, we're doing everything that we do, and our subconscious is really grabbing all of this information from around us. And what happens is that when you go to sleep at night, it shows up in a really vibrant, sometimes in a dramatic, and even times in like a scary way with nightmares. And a lot of children go through this when they're young. They start having these really interesting dreams. And oftentimes when they share it with their parents, the parents say, don't worry about it, it's just a dream. But the reality of it is that whenever a child or anyone shares their dream with you, they're really sharing such a pure and profound piece of themselves. So if we can listen to those dreams and really find out what the child is feeling when they're dreaming this, we can get to a deeper kind of root of a potential issue. So for me, it's really important that we all talk a little bit more about those dreams that we have, because it's really a form of just speaking about what's going on at a deeper level within us. So that's what the next book will be about, and it'll be in a really kind of kid-friendly way. You'll learn a little bit about Lupita and how she shared her dream in class and what happened when she shared it. It's really kind of a cute story. So I'm really looking forward to sharing more about that.
Wonderful. So, well, I want to take this time to say thank you for coming and sharing a few moments, sharing your stories with us. We look forward to learning more about you, and hopefully we'll be able to reschedule the book fair so that way you can come out and folks can meet you in person. I also just want to take this opportunity to let folks know that if they want to learn more about Carolina, they can visit the sites that we have listed below, and you can also purchase her books. That's one good way of learning more about Carolina and Lupita. So thank you very much for being with us today, and I invite you all to stay with us because there'll be more.
Yes, it has been my pleasure. Thank you so much for all of the work that you do, and I'm really looking forward to being able to participate with everyone in person once this is all over. Thank you so much.
Muchas gracias. Stay tuned. We have
Rafael.
more coming your way.
Ok,
Adiós.
muy bien. Hasta luego. Bye bye.